dun, dun. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, how you doing? This is Chris. I want to talk to you about Fiverr today. And Fiverr is a really cool tool. You're going to get a lot of use out of it. It's a really small learning curve. There's a couple things I want to shorten up for you so you don't have to figure them out on your own. Make sure you don't have that little eye thing. Sorry about that. Okay, so first of all, Fiverr, Fiverr.com. It's basically a platform where you can connect with a bunch of freelancers who do all kinds of different things. Today we're going to talk about article writing, but if you want to do social media, if you want to do a video, if you want to do like raw video, send it off to somebody, have them chop it up for you, there's all kinds of stuff that you can do on Fiverr. But I'll let you discover that coolness for yourself. What I want to show you today is kind of how to sift through the thousands and thousands of people that you're going to bump into, that are freelancers that you're going to bump into when you do wander to this platform. So step one, go to Fiverr. As you can see right here, pretty straightforward stuff. Type in what you want. Now, when you log in, you can, if you don't know, well, what else do they do? You can just come down here and scroll and all that good stuff. But we're going to start with article writing. I'm going to say article, and then it's going to give me all kinds of different choices, just things that people have typed in before. I'm going to hit write blog articles, and then you're going to see that there are 52,286 of these little things. That's quite a bit. How do you source through all of that? Well, there's a little bit of a method to the madness. Let me show you how you do it. So first off, you see this area right here? These are filters, and you won't use all of them. You use them as you want to use them, but I will tell you, when I do it, I go straight to seller details. And the first thing I do is I chop off everybody except level 2. I don't worry about seller speaks English. I don't worry about seller lives in. That stuff will suss itself out as we go along. So once I click that, now I'm only choosing between 5,156. Much easier. Okay, so now that I'm here, before I dig any further, one of the things I wanted to show you was there is a big difference between the least of us all and most of us all when it comes to seeing what's over here on Fiverr. You see this little thing that says Pro Services? Pro Services is a really cool thing. You may not find use for it, but I want to show it to you anyway, just so you'll know it's there. Pro Services is the seller's way of weeding out people that are going to be a waste of their time. Because if you'll notice, everybody who's listed under Pro Services, their price range starts at the 100, 125, starts at that level. It starts there and goes up. So needless to say, they're staying away from folks whose needs aren't at that level, which is kind of cool for them. That's also the reason why when I'm choosing my seller details, I don't hit top rated seller, because I don't usually need someone who's at that level. Sometimes I'll do level 1, but 5,000 people is enough to choose from. Okay, now, when you're looking through all of this, there's a couple of things to look for. I will tell you the first thing I take a peek at is the price. If it says starting at $5, it depends on what it is I'm doing, but usually I'm like, not so much. Because as you scroll around, you'll see what the median, about the meaty part of the market is. And after you do this for a while, you start to get an understanding. But here's the bottom line. If you have to go with someone who starts at $5, you're going to get a certain level of content. And it's one of those, what were you expecting for $5 kind of thing, okay? So I'm noticing that 25, 25, 20 starting at, okay. So that probably tells me that the average for what I'm looking for is probably going to be in that range right there. But just to give you an example, let's jump into this puppy right here. So when you jump in, the first things that you pay attention to is how many reviews, because 323. Ooh, okay, that means that a lot of people have put this person to use. 4.9 stars, 6 orders in the queue. Now, that's kind of important if you're in a time crunch, because it lets you know how many people are in front of you. If you don't have it, if it's not an issue, go with it. Now, here's the thing: 2 days delivery. I'll tell you what. Let's hit compare packages. That way you can see all of it at one time. So $5 for the basic, then it jumps up to $35 for standard, $80 for premium. And it kind of tells you, okay, what's the length? How many keywords do I get to play with? Delivery time, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Got it. All right, that's something to pay attention to. And then the other thing to pay attention to is the actual reviews themselves, to see if anyone's going to say anything that's going to give you an idea of just how good these people are. And usually, if somebody's really all that in some chicken, someone will write something really pithy that'll give you a clue. So we'll just leave it for right there. So someplace to look. But basically, when you hop in here, pay attention to turnaround time, how many are in the queue, how many they've done before, what's their overall review and all that. So that's something to pay attention to. Okay, so let's jump back out of here. And let's see. Let's go to, where's another one? Let me find another one of the $5 ones. Here's one right here. Okay, so compare packages. Okay, 5, 20, 45. Okay, cool. That's not the one I was looking for, but anyway, you get the idea. Oh, and this reminds me of one other thing. You see that image right there, right? Always remember that the image right here is not indicative of what you're going to have. This is the one I was looking for. Any indication of what's necessarily underneath there. So the thumbnails are made to grab your attention. Don't think that because they're really cool, if you get a real cool thumbnail, that they're better than somebody else, because thumbnail is just for their marketing. But this is one I was going to point out where you can see, okay, cool, maybe not. Compare packages. So this person says $5 basic for 500 words, $10 for 1,000 words, $15 for 2,000 words with a three revisions, 3-day turnaround, and you can actually pay an additional $10 to get that. Okay, cool. And let's see how many did, and this person's got 5 in the queue. So this person with 5 in the queue will take an order right now for $15 for 2,000 words. That's one of those, use your common sense as to the quality. You may have in your particular use case a need for that length, that amount, but understand what you got. That's not going to be something that's going to be in your voice. That's going to be something that's going to be quality that you may want to sit on your website. There are SEO techniques where you would use an article like that and put it somewhere, but not necessarily on your blog post. Understand that that's what you're getting. You do get what you pay for. So don't let your eyes get all wide when you see like, wow, I can get this many words for this amount of money. Caveat emptor, buyer beware. Okay, so let's see. You know what this one? Nope, I want this one right here. So this will be the last one that will, I'll end it out here. So let's see. We said it's a level 2 seller, 5.0, 45, 2 orders in the queue, and 4 days delivery. Now that is a little bit more realistic, a lot more realistic, with unlimited revisions. The number of revisions matters, especially if you and the person who's writing it aren't on the same sheet of music. Again, as you do this, you're going to gravitate to 1 or 2 people and you're like, I want to keep working with that person, because that's basically what you're doing here, trying to find somebody who is going to do a service that you're going to want to do over and over again, that gets what you're doing or you like the way they work. Okay, so as opposed to good, better, and best, this one goes by, well, tell me how many words you've got and I'll change the price accordingly. So say you want to do, 750, you see it jumps up to $40. Say you want to do 1,000, jumps up to 50, 1,500. You get the idea, it does that. There's one other thing I wanted to point out to you that would be helpful, not necessarily for article writing, but for anything else that you may happen to do over here. And it's this thing that says contact seller. Sometimes whatever you're going to ask to get done, it's complicated enough that you don't want to buy it blind. You want to do a little back and forth with the seller. Well, you can do that. But one thing that's really cool, that's a service that's here or a feature that's here, is this part right here where it says online sellers. If you click that, what that all of a sudden does is filters out everyone except the folks who are online right now. And that means that if you do have a project, and I can't see where for article writing that's going to be that big a deal, but for other stuff, say you're doing a video, you want them to edit something of yours, you got something that there's some details that usually require some back and forth, yeah, you might want to talk to somebody if you don't have time to do the chat thing going back and forth. Because remember, although you can filter it by, remember that seller details thing, some of the people that are doing this that have the prices for what you want are going to be on the other side of the planet. So there's going to be could be a 8 to 12 hour difference, so they may not be sitting online with you. So if you don't have that kind of time to wait, then you want to do online sellers only. Anyway, so now as you see that that's there, you are good. So at the end of the day, when you're going through this, what you're really doing is you're basically auditioning people for some kind of a project. Start small. Don't give them something big that's really, hefty. because you don't know what they've got. Give it a small project and then work your way up. And then once you find someone who you get how they do business and it works for you, then you keep coming back to the well, because these folks aren't going anywhere. Well, that's not true. I've had people who do these for a short period of time, and when I've said, hey, can we do this on a long-term basis, they're like, I don't know how long I'm going to be on Fiverr, because this is not exclusively where some of these folks work. Sometimes this is just side work or something like that, just a side hustle or something to that effect. But start with the seller. Take a look at how many reviews they've got. Take a look at the turnaround. Take a look at the pricing, and kind of compare that pricing back and forth. And since we're talking writing, there's one other thing I wanted to point out. Everyone who does a writing gig, who has a writing gig here, doesn't have a writing gig that just says general. Some are very specific. So for instance, this one says a writing blog. So they're looking for that right there. Let's see. Medical and health articles. Let's see. Dog training, education, and health. So you can get that kind of thing. So it kind of depends on what you're looking for. But if you're asking somebody for and they say they'll write a general, I think this one's the best one to show that one. I've lost them. Oh, there you are. Okay, so this person says they will write a SEO-friendly blog article on any topic and only have a 1-day turnaround, no matter how long it is. Well, premium, 3 days for 2,000 words on any topic starting from now. So be careful of what you're getting there, because it's not going to be the most original content in the world. It'll pass what we call a copyscape, but you get the idea. But like I said, that's us talking about article writing. And when you think about any of the other things that are going to be part of your online marketing campaign, you're going to see where knowing how to use this particular site and these particular freelancers, having access to them, will be very, very beneficial to you. It will give you a chance to leverage what you're doing. So instead of you thinking about what I have to do, you'll think about what I have to get done, and then you'll balance out getting someone else doing it versus you doing it. Because there's a lot of things that will change how people perceive of you based on the fit and finish of what you're putting out. If you don't have the skills, get someone to do it. And that will change the conversation greatly between you and whoever your audience happens to be. Okay? And as always, if you want to jump on here and you're like, I am not quite sure, let's jump on it together and we'll walk through it and we'll kind of go that way. Never alone, never afraid. I do, you do, we do. Talk to you later. Bye.